Good afternoon, Internet. So today we are going to be joined by Janine Beckie. Before anybody asks, yes, I just beat my personal best in Peloton. However, I still lost to Stu Oldham and Spencer Wadsworth. So it would be really nice if some people who are not in shape would get on Peloton so I don't lose. But I still beat my PB. I don't get it. I don't get it. It is what it is, I guess. 700 calories in 45 minutes though, that's not bad. You know? Word on the street that Mal Pugh's gonna get Peloton soon. Wonder if she'll be up for the challenge with the quarantine Peloton spin team, hashtag QPST. So, let's see if we can add Janine. We are waiting for Janine. Hopefully today it doesn't crash like it did with Sophia. Janine, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm sweaty.
Yes, did you just do Peloton?
I did. I just beat my personal best.
What?
But still lost to Spencer and Stu Oldham.
Ooh.
Mate, Spencer Wadsworth is a machine. It's ridiculous.
Hey, at least you get to compete with people. I'm missing that.
That is true. Apparently Mal's getting one.
The group's getting bigger.
But I must say, the last few days, you know, I know Savando's got an excuse, but everyone else...
Did they have their baby?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, he does have an excuse. He has a pregnant wife.
Exactly.
And
Janine!
Yeah, hey.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Colorado.
Colorado. Denver, Colorado, right?
Yep.
Outside of Denver.
Outside of Denver, yeah, like 20 minutes.
This is my orange juice.
Whoa, that's a lot of orange juice.
I put 3 clementines in with water and then zzz it.
Is it good? Does it taste like actual orange juice?
It's kind of like diluted orange juice, you know?
Oh. At least it's freshly squeezed.
Which I always do anyway. I always dilute my orange juice.
It's too sweet. I'm with
Yeah. So...
That light is annoying.
This is London. This is Gunnar, and that's Frank.
Oh, your children.
Yeah. Gunnar's on the floor right now. So, Janine, what we're going to do is we're going to let you talk about you, which is always quite uncomfortable. And then we're going to do some Q&As.
Okay.
If that's all right with you.
Great. Great with me.
Okay. So, let's get started. Janine Beckie was born in the United States of America.
Indeed.
Correct. And you played for what team in Colorado?
Real, Colorado.
And who else played for that club?
Mallory Pugh.
Mal came through that club as well. And Haram was on the other club, right?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Haram was on the other club?
Yeah, she was on the rival. She played for Rush.
Boo.
Boo.
I'm not booing anybody. If anybody's a Rush player, it was a joke. You've got to be careful these days. Club soccer, you know.
It's still a great club. They're a great club.
Like club soccer, they'll be sending snipers for me if I say anything. So, Janine, explain to the people why you are American, yet you play for our rivals in the North.
It's a highly sought after answer, that is.
Yeah.
If you do research, you'll find the wrong answers because there's lots of different answers. She was born in Canada. She lived in Canada. I'm like, no, none of that is true. Here's the story. So I was born in Colorado, as you said. So I was born American, but like as a young baby, I got Canadian citizenship because both my parents and all 3 of my older siblings are Canadian. Well, were born in Canada. So it wasn't until I was 18, 19, 19 that I made my first appearance with any Canadian team. So I played for the U.S. youth system through the under 18 age group, which those of you that aren't familiar with youth national teams, the under 18s don't have any kind of tournaments. It's just the developmental age group. So when we moved into the U20 age group, I was presented with the opportunity to go to a Canadian camp. And the coach called me and he just said, we have been tracking you for a few years and we understand that you have the eligibility to play for Canada. Have you ever thought about it? And at that time, it had come up a few times, but never anything seriously. So I just decided, it can't hurt, because at that time I could go participate in the camp and then continue to play for the U.S. if that's what I wanted. So I went up there, and it was a great fit for me. I really got along with the girls and the staff, and thought that from a soccer perspective, I would have a big role on that team. And so I came back and had some difficult conversations with some people, and had some phone calls, and just talked all the decision making through. And both associations, I have incredible respect for how they handled the situation, and there's no animosity towards the U.S. Association for that decision.
Can I ask you a
what was best for
question?
me? Yeah.
I heard a rumor that April Heinrichs said that you're not good enough to play international football. Is that true?
That is, I can't remember, and I'm sure I would remember if those exact words were used. But I think it was more of, they weren't confident that I had a path to the senior team. And I think they were really hard on me in my, reflections, in my meetings, evaluations during camps. They were really, really hard on me, and they were more relatively negative conversations compared to some conversations that obviously I've had in my career. That when you have a criticism of a player, there's a certain way to make it positive. And in that case, they chose to do it the way that they did, and maybe that worked with other players, but it definitely didn't suit me well. It didn't build my confidence, and I really lost a lot of confidence in that time in my career. And I think that's a big part of the reason why I ended up playing for Canada, because I did feel really, really confident in that U20 group. And then, after that tournament, I had a conversation with John Herdman, who was the coach at the time, and he said he wanted to cap me, and how did I feel about that? And I was pretty pumped. So it was about 4 months later, and I became a senior women's player.
Do you know the funny thing, right, is that Rach has a similar story with Hope Howell in England. Jodie as well, Taylor, like Hope wouldn't call her in because she was playing in the US. And it's funny, right? There's similarities of people saying, well, you're even never going to play for this team, or you're not good enough for this team. And I would say 95% of players in that situation, they believe it, right? Mm-hmm. And like you three that I mentioned then turn around and like, all right, there's a back door, right? Like I'm knocking on the front door, no one's answered. I'll go around the side, no one answers. I'll go around the back, no one answers. In your case, you broke in, right? But those are the stories that I love, rather than the one like, the coach loved me since I was 12, so I was always in camps, and I think that's, and I didn't want to make you uncomfortable with it, but, and I'm not calling her out, like, she had a difficult job, but again, it comes down to, I said this the other day, coaches need to know the power of their words, right? And, if I was told that, like, I get upset with comments on the internet. Do you know what I mean? Like, whether it's about me or you or anyone, I'm like a troll hunter. I like get offended. I'll go after people.
The trolls, the internet trolls.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, man. I don't know how I'd have reacted. Anyway, so you play for John Herdman, who we love. Mm-hmm. John, I've known of John since New Zealand days.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, and he's doing pretty good with the men now.
Yep.
So tell me about college and all of that.
Yeah. So obviously growing up in the U.S., which I'm assuming majority of the people that are on here are watching from the U.S.
Apart from all the Canadian flags I'm seeing around.
Yeah, well, if you're Canadian and you want to play collegiately, you come here anyway, so they can learn from this too. Yeah, so obviously grew up in Colorado, and then when it was time to decide what I wanted to do, it was college showcases. And I had a pretty late recruitment, and now it's like they're being recruited, I feel like, when they're 10 years old. But anyways, so I didn't actually commit until the summer between my sophomore and junior year, which isn't super late, but I had just started to be recruited a few months earlier, so the whole process was relatively short for me. Yeah, Tom Stone at Texas Tech was the first coach that I spoke to on the phone in the recruiting process, and we had a really long, really good conversation, and yeah, I just had a really great first impression. And I was recruited by, I think my top 5 were Texas Tech, University of Colorado, University of Florida, University of California at Berkeley, and University of Missouri. So
I mean, you couldn't have made a wrong decision, really.
Yeah, I mean, 5 great programs, and,
Yeah.
oh, and the University of Maryland. So my top 2 choices in the recruiting process were the University of Maryland and Texas Tech. And I kind of just made the decision, I'm going to visit Lubbock, Texas, and see how I like it. And I went down there, and when I landed, I was like, where am I? Because there's literally nothing. It's like cotton fields. West Texas is not the most exciting place to land when you live in Colorado. So I got on campus, and I just absolutely fell in love with the school and the tradition. The soccer program at Texas Tech, there's no men's team. So all the facilities were ours. $5 million facility, turf field. There was an indoor field built halfway through my 4 years there. A whole building with just insane facilities. On top of that, all of the athletic department there. It's just a great school. Has really rich deep tradition, and definitely thought that was a good place for me. And I think the big part of that was I wanted to go somewhere where I could have an impact on the pitch from my freshman year. And at some of those bigger programs, I didn't know that would be the case. So I chose to kind of take a leap and go to a school where the soccer program wasn't as well known. There was, I think, one current pro that was there before me, which is Janine Beckie. So she was there. She's a year older than me, so she was there 1 year previous, and we actually went to high school together too. So she was super helpful in all that. And yeah, college soccer was just one of the best experiences of my life. It is 100% the reason that I am where I am. It was a massive part of my development and my confidence building, and just learning how to deal with big, strong defenders, and having to adapt over 4 years of playing in the same conference and coming up against a lot of the same players.
Who was the best team that you played against at college?
West Virginia. Consistently every year, West Virginia.
Was Kadesha on it then?
Yeah, it was. So Kadesha and Ashley Lawrence, Kadesha Buchanan and Ashley Lawrence are both a year younger than me.
Okay.
So I played against them for 3 years. And they like swept the Big 12 for many years. So they were definitely like our toughest game in the regular season. Trying to remember who
They got to the final 1 year, huh?
Yeah, they went to the final.
Yeah, then Morgan Andrews whooped up on them, son. Yeah, son.
That was 2016, I think, because that was the year after I graduated. Or I was done playing soccer. So they were definitely the best team in the conference. I'm trying to think of the best team that we played, like in the NCAA tournament. Probably, we took Florida State to double overtime my freshman year in the
that's a big deal.
Second round of the NCAA tournament. Who did we lose to? We lost to Texas A&M 1 year. They were good. Yeah, there's a lot of good teams. I can't think of one right now.
Okay. So we're going to go through some questions. And there's been a few questions as to why I'm sweating so much. And again, it's because I just burnt 700 calories in 45 minutes. Now
That's how it's on life.
I'm probably drinking 800 calories of the orange
They
juice.
should pay you for advertising.
I know,
so
I'm
much.
saying. At one Peloton, pay me. So we've got some fun questions for you. And then we've got some not so fun questions, but serious questions. But nothing more awkward than me putting you on the spot like before, which again, should probably told you I was going to do that.
It's okay.
So, best player you've ever played against?
Oh, gosh. Oh, what is her name? She retired. She played for France. She retired a few years back, 2016. She changed her name. She got married. Dark hair, really pretty.
Oh, I know. Like,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Tina or something like that. I know who you mean.
Her name's on the tip of my tongue. It's going to come to me randomly.
She could be a model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah.
The name change is throwing me off. But anyways, I always remember when she was playing. We played them one year, and she had started and just completely dominated. And then in the Olympics, she came on, and we were like, oh my gosh, because we were only winning 1-0. And they put her on, and she just was an incredible player.
Question. Who is better in goal? You or Karina LeBlanc?
Me.
Because you have played in goal for Canada.
KK would agree with me. No, I'm just kidding. I have played in goal. I will probably not do it again. But it was a good time. Made for an exciting YouTube video that has come up very recently.
Did you let in any goals? What happened?
Yeah, it was literally in the goal for less than 5 minutes, and I gave up a goal. The score was 5-1. Okay, if you haven't seen the video, let me just tell you the story. So the score is 5-1. This is the Pan Am Games in 2015. And for some reason, don't know why, but this girl's she's not even on a breakaway. It was just like a through ball. And she may have got there, she may have not. But Steph Labbe comes out and just totally takes her out. Outside of the box, slide tackle was interesting. So she gets a red card, and I'll never do this again. I totally jinxed myself. The night before that game, I was just having a laugh with my goalkeeper coach. And I was like, look, if anything ever happens, it's me. I'm ready.
Hit me in the nets.
Put me in. And didn't know that it was going to happen so quickly. So then we both look at each other and start laughing in that moment. And what makes the video so great is, well, being scored on, but also that it took me about, I think, 7 minutes to get changed. Because I put our one of our other goalkeepers' jerseys on, and then the ref came over and was like, "You can't wear that because it doesn't have your number on it. So you have to wear a plain shirt." So then I put a plain shirt on, and they're like, "You can't wear that." So then I try and put a penny on, but I had the gloves on my hands. So trying to get in anything, it was just an absolute nightmare. Really fun for anyone who was watching. And then I get in the goal, and they have a free kick from where the foul was, and they scored on me.
Man, you couldn't have clawed it out of the top corner?
It was not top corner. It was bottom corner. And to this day, Steph Labbe tells me, had I at least tried to jump, like I didn't dive, I just kind of fell over. I think she named it the falling tree. I just kind of fell over. She said, had you jumped, you would have saved it. So,
you know what? Stick Steph up front, see how many goals she scores.
Hey, you know what? She's pretty athletic, so I would not put a few goals.
You're so PC. You're so much better than me. I'll just throw people under the bus and then regret it afterward.
Right
you're like, no, everybody gets a medal. Everyone, even you.
No. My child, when they play recreational soccer, will not receive a trophy just for completing the season.
If you've got any questions, write them below, and if they spark interest, we will ask them. until then, top 5-a-side team of players you've either played with or against.
Jeez.
Uh-huh.
All right.
This is where you have to throw people under the
Am I
bus.
including myself in this?
Hang on, Janine, do you get bullied by Kira?
No. Oh, what's up, Nick? Nick Cushing's on here. He said, okay. What were you saying earlier? Can I ask a question live? What does that mean? Write your question on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I included in this 5-a-side team?
If you want to be vain and include yourself, I would.
Okay.
I'd be up front.
I'll give you one substitute for me.
Okay, there's one sub.
Okay. We'll start from the back. Kadisha Buchanan. Just one of the realest defenders I've ever played with.
I mean, I don't know if I'd put her on 5-a-side though, but carry on.
I mean, she's not going to let anyone buy her.
I know she hasn't played against me.
Kara Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolute weapon of a foot.
I love the word weapon. I miss it.
Her right foot is an absolute weapon.
Would you call her a weapon?
Her?
Yeah.
I mean, she's like a weapon for our team, yeah.
No, but you know in England, if you call someone a weapon, it means they're a bit of a moron.
No, I wouldn't call her that. She's not a moron.
Nick Cushing, ask your question. Okay, so you just called Kira Walsh? That was Kira Walsh, right? You called her a weapon? Okay. So Kira's a weapon. Carry on.
Okay. This is hard. I need like a super tricky, skillful player. I feel like a lot of pressure right now.
You should do. It's a lot of pressure.
Do I need a goalkeeper? Is a goalkeeper included in this?
Yeah.
Okay, Karen Barkley.
You're so Manchester City centric right now.
She's so good.
Another American who doesn't play for America. She used to come up to Robbie Williams Field with us and play. Karen.
2 more, including myself. So me. I'm gonna remember so many people that I would have put on my 5 after this. Lindsay Horan.
Oh, I was waiting. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. She's been. Yeah, she's been.
And she'd have to bring Fergs.
Yeah, Fergs is the team mascot.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I need probably a.
I mean, I'm not sure how he feels about that, but carry on.
Hello.
Cool. It's alright then, so you can come on in. You got one more. Pressure is on.
It's so on.
So on.
Someone like Danielle Van de Donk. Like a tricky, slick midfielder.
Okay. That's decent.
Yeah, it's on the spot. I feel like that's a decent on the spot.
I feel like my 5-a-side team would beat your 5-a-side team, but it's cool.
Okay, who's on your 5-a-side team?
I don't have to tell you.
Think about this, so it's not
I'm
fair.
asking the questions here. You don't get to. Right, there was a good question here. Where is it? Three. Right, you can stranded on a desert island. You can have 3 teammates. Who'd you bring?
Canadian or Man City? Let's do both because they're very different teams.
Let's do Manchester City because there's international players on
there. Caroline Weir. Also, she would totally be on my 5-a-side team. So there you go.
Okay.
That's my mom. Everyone.
What's up, Mum?
Hi, Mom.
Okay, so Caroline Weir, she's my road roomie. She's my girl. Gotta include Kira because she just entertains me. But I can't bring Georgia because the 2 of them, like it's one or the other because the 2 of them just make me wanna.
Yeah, but then one of them would drown the other one, so.
Yeah, so they're both entertaining, so they could substitute for one another. And then I need someone who would really know how to survive.
There's 3 of you. There's 3. You can't bring the whole team. There's just 3 of you.
I know.
What's your mum doing with that light?
She was changing the layout. Someone said Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Someone
you.
said, put that light back, you thief.
Gemma Bonner, because she, I think, would probably know how to survive.
Okay. Good answers. I saw another one that I want here. Right, what's your typical meal before a game? And how do you handle lots of pressure and nerves before big games, which pretty much every game you play in now is big?
Yeah, so my pregame meal has changed since I moved to England. Because one, they're different cultures, different food. And two, because we play 95% of our games mid-afternoon. So our pregame meal is like a brunch time, usually.
Oh, we don't use that word here, brunch. It's too
Here
basic.
in California or in England?
In my house. It's just too basic. It's very basic white girl. We don't use the word brunch.
Okay.
It's either late breakfast or early lunch.
It's late breakfast.
Okay.
So I have either toast or a bagel with beans and poached eggs.
What kind of beans?
Baked beans. Well, the baked beans are English beans. Like
Heinz baked beans?
Yes.
High five.
And then if I still need more, I'll have, this is where it gets weird. I'll just have some pasta with like sauce, whatever sauce is available. With the national team, we have a tradition of eating pancakes before games. So I'll have, like, first I'll start with some pasta with potentially some chicken, if I'm feeling it or not sure, depends on the day. I know you're never feeling it. And
I mean,
then,
that chicken probably wanted to live, but okay.
and then pancakes with a little bit of syrup and lots of berries.
You have to have syrup because it's Canadian.
Yeah, and we always bring our own Canadian maple syrup.
Fantastic.
Oh, how do I deal with the pressure? That was the other one.
Yeah.
You learn what works best for you over time. For me, I've kind of just gotten to this place where I can, evaluate my own game for myself. So what other people say about my play or their expectations for me only affects me to a certain point, and that point is to not let them in. Obviously, if it's coming from a coach or a mentor, then that's different. But nerves, I listen to in my headphones around the locker room because I would absolutely get. Nick said his question. My question is, if you had one best moment at Man City to date, what would it be? Okay, let me think about it. Let me finish answering this question. So I'm the team DJ for City. Don't spit your drink out. Don't laugh.
Okay.
That is not nice. I have great taste in music.
Okay. What is it like? I'm thinking hardcore West Coast gangster rap.
Sometimes, you have to, to be a good DJ, you have to read the room. And I'll learn really quickly if I've misread the room.
Yeah.
Because all you hear is next, next.
I'm thinking maybe some country, because you're from Colorado.
Okay, so when I'm in
Sam
my
Hunt?
headphones on the bus, it's country because that's what calms my nerves. Because it just makes me, it's just my favorite. It just soothes me. And then in the locker room, it is what it is. There's a big culture that likes the dance music. We get
Dance music?
Yeah, we get some old school R&B in there. Nick knows what I'm talking about. He's experienced it. He can speak to my abilities as a DJ. I haven't earned privileges as a DJ on the national team yet, but I'm working my way there. Okay, next question. What has been my best moment at Man City? That's hard. I feel like my favorite moments have been off the field.
I don't know, dude. I put something on TikTok the other day of your hat trick. That first goal in that hat trick you scored for City, the chip, I'd say that was a pretty damn good.
That was her first Champions League series.
Pretty good, damn good goal.
That was fun. Hey, Kira Walsh's weapon of a right foot put me in for that goal. So
stop calling Kira Walsh a weapon.
I'm calling her foot a weapon in the American version.
You're Canadian.
I'm both.
Same.
Yay. Oh my gosh, you are a U.S. citizen now.
I am.
Okay. I mean, the obvious answer is my penalty kick that won us I can't say it won. Technically, it won the game, but we were the better team that day, anyways, in my opinion. So when we won the Continental Cup, that was really fun. Being able to celebrate a trophy was the first time I'd been able to celebrate a club championship. That was cool. And then obviously we went on to win the FA Cup that same year. But I think more so just like getting to know teammates and coaches and the memories that we make in the most random moments. Nick will remember that we were walking into a, I don't know, like a stop, like a motorway stop, and our assistant coach hid in this little, you know those little things you put a penny in and the little cars that move? Anyways, he got in there.
Oh, the little roundabout. Yeah, yeah.
Like
it's not a penny. It's not a penny, by the way. It's like 50p or a pound or something. Yeah.
The pound, probably. These things are probably expensive.
Yeah.
And they had the other coach distract me while we're walking in. Service station, thank you. And he popped out at me while I'm...
Nick, hasn't Nick just taken a job in New York?
Yeah, he's in New York.
So you need to change your vernacular, my friend. Gas station.
Gas station. Highway, not motorway.
Freeway. Sorry, I cut you off then. Continue.
He moved to New York and then had to quarantine for like ever. So, good stuff.
Maybe he brought it with him.
He probably, yeah, that's true. He probably misses us though. Probably regrets the decision because
absolutely,
we're just awesome.
Whereabouts in Canada is your family from?
Saskatchewan. Spell that.
Wow.
It's the plains. They say the running joke in Saskatchewan is it's so flat you can see your dog run for a mile.
Well, that is a very funny joke.
Hey, you have a dry sense of humor anyways, so when things aren't funny, you don't even laugh.
I'm just... even my dog's laughing right now.
It's just a saying. I don't even necessarily think it's a joke. It's like real because it's that flat.
Maybe...
There's not a whole lot there, but hey...
Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, yeah, Beast Mode Soccer Band spelled it right because they're in Canada, so that makes sense.
Yeah, Vancouver. Shout out to Brenda in Vancouver.
Love Vancouver.
Okay, so last thing, and I'll let you go because I know you're incredibly busy.
So busy.
I like that top, by the way.
Thank you. I'm making homemade cauliflower gnocchi tonight. So that's what I have to schedule. You would eat that.
Decent, I'd eat that.
It's vegan.
I am vegan.
Are you still vegan?
I'm never going to not be vegan. Right.
Okay. For like the first, how long have you been vegan?
3-something years.
Okay, so for everyone, for the first 2.5 years of Dave being vegan, probably every other day there was a tweet, by the way, I'm still vegan, just so everyone knew.
Yeah, because people ask that question, they're like, oh, are you still vegan? I'm like, yes, I still don't want to murder things. Like, look, let me show you my calendar.
No.
But this is a calendar that my mum buys me every year, look.
Oh, that's nice.
It's cows.
Cows.
Yeah, Highland cows. I would love a Highland cow. If anybody lives on a farm and they want to send me a Highland cow, I'd like it.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yes.
Someone just wrote something that made me think of this. Did you ever expect me to be a right back?
No. I can see you there, though.
Well, you can say that now. Played it. Never.
You could play it. We had Soph on the other day, and that's another one, isn't it? Soph like banging goals for Chicago, and then they stick her at right back.
Yeah.
But a good player can do it, right? Soph did it, you could do it.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, Rach does it.
Hopefully I get to finish the season there. Hopefully we get to finish the season. So.
Yeah, no, you'll be good. But you'll be like Marcelo, like banging forward. You know what I mean?
Hey, before you know it, watch me play center back. Don't want to, but the way things
No,
go.
we want you at right back, but you're cutting up like Ashley Cole used to do before he turned into Judas and went to Chelsea from Arsenal, and you can bang up that wing, cut inside and rip a ball in, you know.
Quit.
Janine
Quit.
Beckie, this is the last thing, what is the one piece of advice you would give to young players who have been told they're not good enough?
First things first, you said earlier that it would be really hard for any player to hear that, which in different words, that's what I was told. And it's difficult when you hear it from someone that, one, is your coach, two, you have respect for, and three, you don't want to, like, not believe them because you're young, they're your coach, for obvious reasons. But I think in those situations, you just have to be really clear what the end goal is for you. And if the end goal is, you know, I want to try my best to, you know, make the top team or play on the national team, there's a big chunk of development where it doesn't matter if someone's telling you if you're good enough because you just keep going. And at the end of the day, it's a cutthroat environment when it comes to, you know, national teams, college soccer, you know, anywhere where you're competing with other high-level players. It's a cutthroat environment. So at the end of the day, you have to remember, I may do all of this. I may make the sacrifices, put in the work, and at the end of the day, not get what I want. But that's the risk reward with sport. And I think for me, I was at a place where I knew I had gotten there and I was there for a reason. And so I just didn't believe that I wasn't good enough. And who knows, had I stayed and played for the US, I may still not be on the same team sitting here now, but I also know I wouldn't be the player that I am if I had gone in that direction. And I have absolutely no regrets about making the decision that I made. I mean, it's so cliche to say, but there will always be people that tell you you're not good enough. I still get it. Like, there's keyboard warriors that tell me that I suck. And you just have to laugh and say, well, look what I did. Look what I do. Look what I'm doing, and watch out for what I'm going to do. And I just think it comes from, what I've learned about confidence is that people can instill confidence in you, but it has to start with you. And if you don't give yourself confidence, then you're going to keep continuing to search for it in places that aren't going to fulfill you in that way. And that took me a long time to learn. I still struggle with it sometimes. But I think if you have that foundation of confidence in yourself, then someone telling you you're not good enough, hopefully you can take it off.
Yeah, you've got to learn to be a wall, haven't you? You know, it's one person's opinion. You know, just yesterday, someone told me my drills are trash on TikTok. My response was, oh no, a random person on TikTok thinks my drills are trash. I'm not going to sleep tonight. Smiley face.
Exactly. There's too many people in the world for you to try and get everyone to like you, for everyone to think what you're doing is right or good or sufficient for them. Like, I'm a people pleaser myself, so I struggle with that a lot, especially with, you know, the people in my life. But that's the other thing. Like, you just have to build thick skin and be bulletproof in what you let affect you on an emotional level. And if anything, if you do let things affect you, then it should just be, you know, more motivation, more fire.
Like the Katy Perry song, Bulletproof.
Like, go watch the advertisement.
Janine, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm going to text you in a little bit. You're awesome. For everyone else doing the 30 Days of Accountability Challenge, tomorrow I'm going to pick two or three of you, and your job is to do a technical analysis of Janine Beckie.
Ooh, someone just rang my doorbell.
And please, remember, if anybody trolls my players, I'll go after them hard.
Just don't watch a game where I played bad and you'll be fine.
All right, Janine, you're awesome. I appreciate you. I will talk to you very soon. Guys, I'll see you
Good.
tomorrow.
Enjoy your diluted orange juice.
See you later.
Bye.